Hey guys, welcome to Admit 3, where we discuss all things movies, media, and television. I'm Laura.
I'm Kurt.
I'm Rob.
Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to Admit 3. In this episode, we'll be chatting all about the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which released on April 5th and proved to be an absolute smash at the box office over the long weekend. In the film, brothers Mario and Luigi are sucked into a warp pipe while trying to repair a manhole leak in Brooklyn, where they've recently started their own plumbing business. While in the warp pipe, the brothers become separated, with Mario landing in the Princess Peach-ruled Mushroom Kingdom and Luigi landing in the Dark Lands and becoming imprisoned by the evil King Bowser, who intends to use the Superstar as leverage to force Princess Peach to marry him, lest he use it to destroy her kingdom. With Princess Peach, Toad, and the other friends at his side, Mario seeks to rescue his brother and help the heroes save their worlds in the process. As I mentioned, the Super Mario Bros. Movie is currently raking in the dough, pulling in $377 million worldwide in 5 days alone, which is the highest global opening for an animated picture ever. What did you guys think about the film?
It was definitely a Super Mario Brothers movie. I think if you're a fan of the video games in any capacity, there's something for you to enjoy here. I don't see anybody who likes the Mario games hating this movie. With that said,
Except Laura.
except Laura, who hates everything. With that said,
Including you.
we know. They know it too. It's definitely some family movies, are aimed towards the entire family, and this one definitely leans more toward just being for kids in a way.
You think so?
I thought the humor in this was very much just for children. I didn't think there was very much adult humor in this at all, which is fine. We saw it with our niece and our nephews, and they had a blast, and you could hear the other children in the theater having a blast. This movie's definitely for them, and not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that's what it is. What did you think, Rob?
I liked it. I thought it was fun. Obviously it's not like anything revolutionary. It's not like gonna flip the script for movies, but it's like it plays its part, and I think it plays it well. I got no complaints.
I actually really liked it. Maybe because I have a child's mentality. No, I thought it was
I
pretty
wasn't
good.
saying like only a child could enjoy it.
But I heard a lot of adults laughing during the film. Also, a lot of like the things that they put in there that only like people who played the game would realize, like what different scenes would like depict the different Mario games. Like, some of them, MJ, who's 10 or 11 now, I don't know.
It's 11.
He picked up on certain things that I didn't even pick up on, and
Yeah.
I've been playing video games a lot longer than he has, so.
Toby too. He brought up a couple things. He's like, "Oh, that's from Super Mario Odyssey." I've never really played that game other than watching you play it. So
Yeah. Plus, I have like a bad memory. I could be playing something and then 10 minutes later not realize that it's something that came from that video game I was playing. Like, anyways, I thought the animation was pretty cool. I like how, like, they're just depicted as these two brothers trying to, make their father proud because they think that they're not good enough or whatever in their father's eyes, so they're trying to save Brooklyn and then end up fucking it up more. But then get sucked down a warp pipe into this completely different realm. And then they go on this fantastical journey. I don't like how they made Luigi look out like to be a little bitch, though. That was rude.
Luigi's your guy.
Luigi's been my favorite character since the day I started playing Mario.
Which I don't understand. But to each their own. I always liked Donkey Kong in all of the like Mario Party games and like Mario Kart and everything like that. And I gotta say, I think they did Donkey Kong a little dirty. Nothing against Seth Rogen. I don't think he did anything wrong with the voicing of him, but just like the writing of him kind of made him seem like a giant D-bag. I guess he was a villain originally. Like the first Donkey Kong game, he was the bad guy, right?
Yeah, yeah. And Donkey Kong, I think, in general, is kind of an asshole, which is probably why you use him every time.
I don't think he is. I mean, in DK64, he's not an asshole at all.
Well, it's a video game based around him.
And it was a fucking banger. I love Donkey Kong 64.
I really like Seth Rogen a lot. I love a lot of things. I have his book that he wrote last year, yearbook, or maybe it was the year before. I have that upstairs. I do think it was funny that everybody in this movie was at least doing some sort of voice for their character, and then Donkey Kong just sounded exactly like Seth Rogen. Like, he wasn't trying to be anything other than Seth Rogen, and I found that funny. Speaking of the voices, you mentioned Mario and Luigi's father. Rob, did you know that the voice actor who plays Mario and Luigi in the games actually voices their father in the film?
No, I did not. I did notice
So that was a very
that.
fun
That's
fact.
pretty cool.
I don't know if it was the grandpa. You know that one guy who kept going like yoo-hoo and like jumping up and doing like the pose from like the old Donkey Kong game? Like, obviously that's supposed to be like the original Mario, right?
I'm
I
guessing.
think it might have been the same guy. I read that he played some. I read that the voice
What do you mean
actor.
it's the same?
Kurt's going in a different direction.
I read that the voice actor actually played another guy who was like.
Oh
doing,
no, I'm
like-
not talking about the voice actor. I'm saying like that
Like,
that character was supposed to be like the
representing,
original
yeah.
Mario,
Gotcha.
right? Or at least I'm assuming
Maybe.
because like the Mario and Luigi are supposed to be like younger guys in this movie, right? Like they're more maybe in their early 20s or something. I'm guessing.
They never
Yeah.
said anything about age.
I'm assuming.
I'm assuming because they still have twin-size beds and living in their parents. Yeah.
I do love that in their little like commercial that they made, the Super Mario Brothers commercial, they have
Yeah.
like really thick Italian accents, and then
Yeah.
when they start talking, they're like just normal talking guys,
Yeah, just a couple of Brooklyn guys.
which may have been like a way for them to work around doing the accent the whole movie and then avoiding a lot of critique in
Yeah.
that aspect.
Yeah, a lot of people were already, hating on Chris Pratt before the movie even came out for the accent from the trailer.
Mm.
But I thought he was, fine here for sure. I didn't have any problems with his voice performance as Mario. This is kind of a stacked cast for voice actors. I love Charlie Day. I'm a huge fan of Always Sunny. Those guys have always, brought a lot of joy into my life. So I'm a big Charlie Day fan. I thought he was great here as Luigi. Jack Black, I thought especially stood out as Bowser. He stole the entire movie for me. The Peaches song was amazing. I guess that's huge on TikTok right now, the Peaches song. So
I do think that the piano and
Yeah.
the Bowser little scene was.
I love when they start playing tunes from the old games. They're like do 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 do.
yeah,
It's so cool.
sit jam with me.
I'm pretty sure Kurt has been doing the
Yes, yeah.
for the past few days. So
Something that Toby and MJ noticed immediately was the Mushroom Kingdom, here we come line was taken out, and I wonder if it's because that was the line that Chris Pratt got so much of the flack for. Because, I'll be honest, that was probably the worst thing so far. Was
We quoted it to each other so many times, just randomly, making fun of it.
Mushroom Kingdom, here I come. Yeah, it's not.
I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
No.
That's why people were oh, you can't do the Mario voice or whatever, which I probably couldn't do the Mario voice, to be honest, if I wanted to.
I feel like there's a lot of I always see previews for movies and a lot of the things don't ever end up in the actual film.
And we gotta also remember that a lot of these actors, they're not voice actors by trade.
Right, yeah.
They're regular actors.
Mm-hmm.
Movie
Oh,
actors.
you saying voice actors aren't actors, bro?
That's not what
We're
I'm saying. What I'm
voice
saying
actors
is
are better.
voice actors have either more experience or they have more training.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even with that being said, I think they all still did a pretty good job. I can't think of one specific role that I was oh, they really blew it, or they had a mediocre job doing it. I think it was all pretty good.
How did you guys feel about Princess Peach not being a damsel in distress?
I liked it. I thought Princess Peach was very cool in this movie. I wish that they kind of gave the damsel in distress role to Luigi in this movie.
It was really weird.
Which I don't mind so much, except that I thought the strongest part of the movie, the strongest element, was the bond between Mario and Luigi. And and so they're separated for most of the movie.
Which is actually hilarious because as they're going to, we can get through everything for to get us together, and they get pulled apart.
But then at the end Mario rescues them. Everything has its like purpose, and they reunite, and then together they defeat Bowser. And that really resonates. It's a great moment where they do it together. But it goes away from Luigi for so long at one point that once I came back to him, I was like, oh yeah, that motherfucker is in a cage. I forgot about that.
Can we just talk about that little like depressed?
I don't even know what
light?
that is or what it's supposed to be. Do you guys?
So funny though.
either.
He's
It
like,
was funny.
There is no hope. We're gonna die.
Yeah, this like joyful voice you can imagine.
And as they're like getting lowered into the lava, he's like, "Yeah, finally,
Mercy."
And then they start getting brought back up. He's like, "Boo!"
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, I really have no idea what that's from. Somebody said that it has something to do with Daisy, but I don't know. I don't even know what Daisy is from, like what game she originated from. I have no idea. So
Don't know.
All I know is that thing, whatever it is there's going to be a lot of merchandise sold for the character. I guarantee that. But yeah, circling back to Princess Peach, I thought I thought she was very good.
Prince Peach.
I really liked the character. There was a moment where maybe I'm just not well versed in the games enough to know if it's part of the game or not. But she, her power turns her blue, and she starts having like ice powers.
Yeah.
And it was very reminiscent of Elsa from Frozen.
I mean, they do have that ice power like power up, but to be honest, I don't think Peach ever does anything in the games, does she?
I don't know. I mean, it depends if you're playing Smash Brothers or if you're
I don't know.
playing Super Mario 64.
Every Mario game that I've played, it's her just getting like taken by Bowser each time, and you have to save her at the end. She doesn't really get much playtime.
I think she makes you a cake at the end of Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
She does.
Or not win her if you would save her.
Well, she was in Super Mario 64. She was planning on making you a cake from the very beginning. You just still happen to get it at the end after you save her. Like she invites you to the castle. To start with,
Do they
so she
have
makes you
like a game specifically for Princess Peach where she like beats levels and stuff? Because I haven't heard of it.
I don't know.
They might, but I've never heard of it.
You can race as Peach in Mario Kart. Does that count?
Not really.
Donkey Kong has his own game. Luigi has his own game. Even though it's only like one.
Does Toad have his own game? Her?
No, Yoshi
Is
has
Toad
his own
a
game.
woman or a man?
Maybe
Toadette would be a woman. Toad would be a man. Sure. Whatever. Who
There's
cares?
the Toadette, actually, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what it just randomly came to my mind. Whatever. Anywho. Yeah, someone make a Peach game where she has to defeat all these bitch ass
Maybe they will
people.
now.
Yeah.
This version of Peach is,
Strong
I think much strong
female
female.
character.
It's gonna be iconic for a lot of
Yeah.
It would
young
be cool
girls who watch this.
if they did like a Super Mario 64 sequel where it's from Peach's perspective and her going through all this stuff with Bowser, all the trials and tribulations she had to go through. Obviously, they could have, creative license to change up the story a little bit to make it interesting, but
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
I'd be interested in that for sure.
Yeah.
To kind of see the Super Mario 64 like from a different perspective. It's like Laura with the like Twilight from Edward's perspective.
It's Midnight Sun, you bastard.
It's the skin of a killer, Bella.
Yeah, I definitely like how when deciding if Mario was gonna go along with her on the quest to like beat Bowser, like take the shortcut to beat Bowser, she does this whole course in the matter of like a millisecond.
Yeah.
And then he takes like all day and all night into the next day to even get remotely close to finishing.
But he's determined to keep doing it.
Yeah. That's the only reason she takes him along.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, it took me some time too. And he's like, you're just saying that to be nice. And she's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, I actually loved that scene. I'm glad that a few times throughout the movie, the platforming element of the games they're shown here, and I felt they handled that in a really fun way. It was a really nice inclusion, and that's part of the reason I think, even though, like I said, some of the jokes and like the humor are more for kids, I think there's enough here like that for longtime fans of the games that like there's something for like adult viewers to latch onto and care about and feel joy over.
I definitely enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I thought I was just gonna be like, it's cool. I do, like I said, well, I don't know if I said it, but I'm going to now. I wish they involved Luigi a little bit more, because, like you said, he was gone for pretty much half the film.
Probably more than half the film.
Yeah, I figured they could have played more into like what he was doing.
Yeah. Well,
But I guess you only have so much time.
At least they kind of redeemed him at the end instead of just letting Mario get the superstar alone and
Yeah.
fight Bowser. They
Yeah.
had them do it together.
you'll be happy to know that Charlotte Day has expressed interest in having a Luigi's Mansion movie. And this is making so much money that they're going to do whatever
Like
they can
every
now.
spin-off.
And we're about to see Nintendo movies all over the place. So I'm sure that'll happen. Seth Rogen has expressed interest in a Donkey Kong Country movie. So
I gotta say, I did like the inclusion of like side characters in the games, like the Dry Bones in the beginning with Luigi chasing him. I love Dry Bones; it's like one of my favorite characters.
yeah,
The Shy Guys, that was cool. The side characters from Donkey Kong, like Cranky, and they showed Diddy
yeah,
for a
they
little
showed
Like
while.
Diddy
1
Kong
second,
for-
yeah.
yeah. But I was happy. I really wanted to
Yeah.
see Diddy Kong in the movie.
They might have had Tiny, Chunky, and Lanky Kong like hidden off somewhere in the crowd, but I just didn't realize or like recognize. But there's so many like little things like that in the movie that you could easily miss if you're not like paying
Yeah.
attention at every single second.
Like we mentioned before, we saw this, with children, Toby, MJ, and Lily, and it seemed to me like they all really loved the movie. I was talking to Lily about it, and I was like explaining the 5-star like grading system to her, and she gave it a full 5 stars. So can't get better than that.
Toby gave it an 8.9.
Out of 10.
Yeah, that's
Couldn't
good.
give it the full 9. I don't remember the score that MJ gave it.
It was like 8.7, 8.8. It was
He
like
did
very
say it
close.
was his second favorite movie of all time.
Oh yeah, but then he
What's
also said
the
that a
first?
lot of movies were tied for number one.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Jesus.
And the scene that MJ said brought down the score for him was after they get eaten by the eel, Mario and Donkey Kong, and they get spat out. The water looked too realistic.
yeah, it looks
I
too
was like-
realistic.
I was
that it
like,
brought the
okay,
score down.
I don't know why that's necessarily bad, but also like
I want to know how much he brought down the score because of that.
I don't
Like,
know. I
what was
can't remember.
what was it going to be?
I know him and Toby were very close in their scores. Toby gave it an 8.9, so MJ is right around there. I'm not exactly sure what he gave it though.
Lily's favorite scene was Bowser singing the Peaches song. Her favorite character was Bowser, which I thought was very funny. But she also really enjoyed the scene where Mario gets the cat power and starts scratching. She was like asking for my arm like all the way home, and she was like scratching my arm, pretending to be a cat. So they had a great time.
Yeah.
And it seemed like every other child in the place was having a great time too.
I did think it was funny how in the beginning, before like when they're at their family dinner and they're eating some kind of pasta with mushrooms. He's like, "Oh, I hate mushrooms."
Yeah.
And then he obviously
Yeah.
you need to eat
Has to eat
mushrooms
them all
to get
throughout.
the. It was probably the funniest thing.
I think that was a cool little thing that they wrote in. Definitely like something that just added a little bit more life to the movie. Like Mario's whole thing is he eats mushrooms to power up throughout all the games, and he hates mushrooms. That's just very, very comical. Also, when he eats the blue mushroom thing, it's going to power him up, and he
Yeah.
turns into
Yeah.
like super small.
I do like how they also do that to Bowser at the end of the film. They shove a blue
Yeah.
mushroom so it gets really tiny. What you guys didn't see because you left, it's the mid-credit like end scene.
Yeah.
It's Bowser again. He's doing like a little piano thing with singing his like Peaches song.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the toads come in. It's like, "Hey, shut up." And then it like zooms out so you can see that he's still tiny and he's like in one of those like little bird cages with a little mini piano. And when it's zoomed in, you can hear him like in his normal like deep voice where he's like, "Hey, you don't know who you're," and then it zooms out so you can see what it actually looks like, and it's like a baby voice. So he's like, "Get out here, too." It's pretty funny.
They did show Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, and Baby Peach. We didn't get to see Baby Bowser.
Maybe that'll be in the next film.
Did we? We also didn't see Boo, did we?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Which
he
is
was.
like-
I mean, there were so many characters at one point, like in the background. Maybe he was there.
I'm surprised because Boo is such like an iconic character. Did we see a chain chomp?
Again, I don't know.
Or
Maybe,
Thwomp?
maybe somewhere in the background.
We're gonna have to rewatch it.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Chain Chomp, Thwomp. We saw Bullet Bill. I saw that. Boo, I don't remember seeing those little cactus looking things or whatever they are. You know, like they're like balls stacked on top of each other.
Yeah. Like from the desert thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they didn't. Maybe they're hidden in there somewhere. We didn't see them, but I
But
didn't.
also,
notice those.
they were planning on making more films, so
Yeah.
maybe they didn't want to put everything in this one.
Yeah.
Because we also missed the end credit where
I saw that.
yeah, but you looked it up because
Same thing,
Yoshi is going to be.
or maybe not.
Maybe Yoshi will die.
I was really hoping because have you ever seen like the memes?
You're hoping Yoshi died.
No. Well, I mean, I guess if
No.
you were looking at what I'm gonna say like that,
What?
have you ever seen like the memes where like Mario? Because you know in the games like you use Yoshi as like an extra jump to like get farther. Have you ever seen the memes where like Mario is jumping and then he like jumps off Yoshi and Yoshi's like looking up and like giving Mario the middle finger as he's falling down?
That's hilarious.
I was hoping they'd have obviously they not
Yeah.
giving the middle finger in this movie, but I thought there'd be like a cool scene where like Mario jumps off Yoshi and Yoshi's like no, like reaching up towards him or something. They had like one scene with Yoshi where there's like a pack of them running through Mushroom Kingdom and that's it. Yoshi got like no screen time.
Funny that you say that because I don't remember seeing Yoshi.
Well, we saw Yoshi's. I don't know if we saw like the Yoshi.
I have a hot take on Yoshi.
Okay.
Wow, don't do this. It's not right.
Overrated. Maybe the most overrated character in the Mario universe.
You're out of your fucking gourd. What?
I don't care about Yoshi.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never cared
I've
about
been
Yoshi.
sitting on this forever.
You like
Fuck
Luigi?
Yoshi.
Yeah, I like Luigi, but I don't give a fuck about
She can
Yoshi.
only have one green. She can only have one green.
You guys are fucking.
To be honest, I don't care about any other player besides Luigi. I don't care about Mario. I don't care about Donkey Kong.
Well, that's fucked up.
Now you crossed the line.
Luigi, ride or die.
I used to play like Yoshi Story on the 64 when I was a kid. And this is boring.
that
as
game
fuck.
kind of sucks.
People were like talking about loving that game. I'm like, you don't love this game.
All the games that Yoshi's like that aren't based around him but have him in them are better. Like he has a cameo appearance in Super Mario 64, which is one of the best Mario games of all time, easily.
I would say one of the, for me personally, one of the best games of all time.
Yeah.
I loved it.
He's in Smash Brothers, which is another absolutely amazing game.
So he's a better side character than main character, is what you're saying.
But I don't feel like that's Yoshi's fault. Yoshi's cool. They just don't do enough with it. Kind of like Luigi. Luigi's cool. They just don't utilize him enough. They gave him one game, Luigi's Mansion, and I like Luigi's Mansion, but also
Actually,
not
I'm
that
a
great.
Luigi fan, but I don't like Luigi's Mansion. It's
Is that just because we couldn't beat it?
oh,
no, it's because it was dumb. It was really lame.
speaking of Luigi, did you know they were originally planning to have Luigi in Super Mario 64?
In some of them, you can play as
No.
either one. Yes, you can. You
In the
can
DS
play-
version?
I think so.
Those don't count.
There's do you know that like little courtyard with all the booze flying around?
Yeah.
And there's like a statue in the middle. There's like a conspiracy theory because there's a statue with a plaque on it, and people like
Here lies
hypothesized.
Luigi.
People thought that on the plaque it says L is real, like insinuating like Luigi is real. I think somebody like messaged the developers and they messaged back and they're like, no, that's not what it says. But they were intentionally or originally going to have Luigi as a playable character in Super Mario 64, but I don't know if they didn't have enough time or they just decided against it, but Luigi definitely doesn't get enough love from Nintendo.
I love the thought of somebody trying to like unlock Luigi in Super Mario 64, like standing in front of the plaque, like hitting A B over and over and
That's-
over again, trying to figure out some sort of pattern.
In the early 2000s, that was like shit that kids did. Like before the internet, you couldn't just type everything in and just know immediately.
Yeah.
Like you just had to go around fucking trying shit all the time. It was kind of great, actually.
you have to hit L 100 times in a row to summon Luigi.
Those old schoolyard myths, yeah.
Um, it's on topic, but it's a little, from the course. I was just wondering what your guys' favorite Mario video game is.
I think that's pretty on topic. I don't think it's too
Well, I
far.
just mean like it's not the movie, but it's the video game.
I like probably Mario Party. I like
Which
playing
one?
it. Mario Party 2 is probably my favorite. I like
a
the
good one.
mini games from Mario Party 1, but I like the maps from Mario Party 2 better. Is that what I'm saying? Is that right?
Mario Party 2 has
Or do I like the maps
Horrorland,
from
correct?
Yeah. I think
Mario Party 2 has Horrorland, the Western one, Spaceland, the Hieroglyphs, and
my which one's
I think 2 has better map, 1 has better mini games, right?
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to get at. But Crazy Cutters has always been my favorite mini game.
So then Rob,
Not
do you at that
Facelift?
one all the time?
I like Facelift, but Crazy Cutter is my favorite.
You're probably thinking of Tipsy Turny.
That's what Robert always wins in.
Crazy Cutter I am pretty good at as well, but she's not bad at it either.
I just feel like he wins since I've been here. Like I haven't been in Yale's life more than 3 years now.
Oh
So-
no, Robert usually always wins, but it's
That's
still
not
my
true.
it's still
We've
my
been
favorite
playing
game.
Mario Party since we were literally like in the womb, pretty much. So.
I remember always rage quitting every time I got fourth place in like the lineup.
Oh my
I'd just press
God.
restart, reset.
Yeah,
He'd
I
get
remember
so
that.
pissed. And I'm like, I don't want to be number 4.
And then I would get number 4 and it'd be like perfect.
What about you, Rob? What's your favorite Mario game?
I think my favorite single player Mario game. Granted, I haven't played Odyssey. I've watched Laura play it, and I think that looks like a lot of fun as well.
You actually did help me beat a world, but whatever. I digress.
Okay. I think Super Mario 64, just because it was like one of the first games I've ever like really got into. It has like that nostalgic
Yeah.
place in my heart. As far as single player games go, I think that would be my favorite Mario game. If we're talking multiplayer, I don't know if Super Smash Bros. Counts as a Mario game.
I would count it.
But-
it's got like the Mario characters and stuff.
I absolutely love Super Smash Brothers on the N64. That game, I literally I rented that from Blockbuster and I never gave it back. I fucking love that game so much.
Mom still hasn't picked
Blockbuster
it up.
fucking crumbled the economy before they got that game back.
I used to play Super Mario Brothers at like sleepovers that I would have when I was in like elementary school. I would,
Super
like,
Smash
go to-
Brothers or
Yeah, Super
Yeah.
Smash Brothers. I would play that all the time.
It's my least favorite game because I'm not good at it. I'm literally the worst at Super Smash.
'Cause you gotta-
Bros.
you gotta
I
learn
can't-
it.
No, I don't want to. I'll just never play it.
And hot take, I don't really like the new Super Smash Brothers that much. I feel like they had a specific formula. It was like simple, easy to get into. The maps were good, the characters were fun to play as, and now it's like the whole story and progression system for the new Super Mario Brothers, or Super Smash Brothers rather. I just don't like it. Like I could play Super Smash Brothers on the 64 for literally hours on end, but the new one, I played it for like 20 minutes and I was like, this kind of blows.
Yeah, I watched you play. I still haven't played it. I was just like, this doesn't look
Yeah.
like how I remember. Like, I don't want to play this.
All the maps are like the same thing. Like it's just 3 platforms, one up top, middle, 2 on each side. It's like all the maps. In Super Mario 64, you had like the Star Fox, like spaceship. You had the Pokemon world. You had Link's castle. Like you had so many cool map ideas. I don't know what the fuck happened.
My personal favorite Mario game is, no surprise, Super Mario 64. It's also my first video game when I was a kid. I remember Christmas 96 or 97, I got a Nintendo 64 along with Super Mario 64 and Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball, which we both love.
That explains a lot.
Um,
I'll have you know I've played Kurt 10, maybe 10 plus times, and I have not won a single fucking game against him.
yeah,
He's
I'm
like actually Ken Griffey Jr. in real life.
we were listening to the song "Devil Went Down to Georgia,"
Yeah.
and he was like, "What is one thing you would bet against the devil? Like, what was one thing you would face the devil in, or bet your soul and know that you would win?" And it was Ken Griffey Jr. in Major League Baseball.
That game is so good. I don't even mind losing it. It's just such a fun
It's
game.
a fun game. But yeah, Super Mario 64, I spent so much time playing that when I was a kid. Throughout the years, as a teenager and adult, I've played it so much. there was a home video that my family used to have, where my dad was like going through filming everybody, and I was in my bedroom with a fucking horrible bowl cut, sitting at a desk playing Super Mario 64 in a big T-shirt and tidy whities. I love that game so much. I'm a huge Mario Kart fan also. I played Mario Kart 64 all the time when I was a kid. I would wager that I may be the greatest person in the world at that game too.
I beat you in a time or two.
Well, Mario Kart 8 maybe, but Mario Kart 64, I used to piss off all of my friends. I'd get so mad and be like, "You're cheating! He's cheating!" Like, how am I cheating? It's Mario Kart. You just suck.
Yeah, I never really got into Mario Kart too much. Always loved Mario Party. When we were like really young, we didn't have like a game console. We had like, you know, those little like plug and play. Like we had a SpongeBob plug and play
yeah.
that had like a bunch of mini
It was
games.
actually bomb, that game.
That game was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved that. And then we also had Pac-Man, and we all loved playing that. And Sam was
Oh, the
like
other
a
sister,
god.
the one
Master.
who's never been
She
on
beat
the
the
Literally
entire
the
game.
entire game.
She beat the whole thing.
Wow,
Like 1,000 levels.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know how, but she did it.
that's impressive.
It is impressive because none of us could fucking get up there.
And then I think it was our Aunt Michelle bought us an N64 at one point, right? Because, you know, our parents definitely. We got
It's the greatest gift one can receive. Is the Nintendo 64.
we got an N64 and we got Pokemon Snap. And I
didn't give a
fucking
shit about fucking Pokemon
love
He
that
loves
game.
Pokemon
He's
Snap. He
obsessed.
just beat it
It's so
recently.
good. You could beat the whole game in 2 hours. It's
Yeah.
so quick, but it's such a fun game.
Like, I would say, just a month ago you beat Pokemon Snap, and I beat Super Mario 64. Like, we revisited them on the Switch's, like,
Yeah.
Nintendo app thing.
Expansion pack,
Yeah. Which, if we're getting into hot takes, should have more game options.
I don't even think it's a hot take. That's just like everybody agrees. There's some games down there that's like nobody's even fucking heard of this
Yeah.
shit. Why is this on here?
Also, I do like to say you pay a lot of money for that for like not enough.
Well, it does include the online membership, which, granted, a lot of people don't use the online features for Switch, but that is a big bulk of the price of that is paying for the online membership.
No, just give us more good games.
I agree, 100%. If they could add more games to that, which kind of games would you want on there? Because I know one off the top of my head that I'm immediately thinking of.
Conker's Bad Fur Day. Is that
That-
what you were
well,
thinking of?
I always
That wasn't the
I
one I'm
can-
thinking of, but I love that game.
I randomly think about that game all the time just because Robert always used to play it.
It's so much fun.
I was way too young to be playing that game, and I don't know why my parents, because it says like adults only on the game, right, or something like that. And it's the humor in it is amazing, and I feel like I really lucked out getting to play that so early because it really molded me into such a little bastard.
Robert was never a little bastard. He's probably the nicest person you'll ever meet.
But it's just so good. All the like little quirky lines and all the like the money that like talks shit to you before you grab it. It's like
Yeah. I love that game. I
It's
played
so
with my
good.
friends
Have
all
you
the
ever
time.
beaten it?
I have beaten it. It's a very
Can't relate.
great game.
I
It's
never
a very
beat it when
fun
I was a
multiplayer
kid.
game to play too with your friends. I love being like the teddy bears.
There was always a part I got stuck on in that game, and then I revisited it as an adult and finally beat it, and it gets so wacky near the end with like the alien references and like it's just so out of left field, but I love it. It's such a good game. The game that I want them to add is Donkey Kong 64 because
Yeah.
that game is
It's not on there?
fucking good.
It's not
No,
on there.
it's not.
It should be on there. I
I think they
agree.
have like Donkey Kong Country or something like that. But Donkey Kong 64 is
Yeah,
so
Donkey
good.
Kong 64 would be a great one to have. They have the original Mario Kart, but I would love to see Diddy Kong
Could they
Racing
not
on there.
get like the rates to it or something?
Maybe
Maybe-
What
they
do you-
own it.
I was gonna say it's Nintendo.
Oh yeah, why is it on there?
I don't, no idea.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a real good reason for that.
Diddy Kong Racing was one of my favorite games to play when I was a kid. I would love to see that on there. There was a wrestling game that I loved when I was a kid on N64, WCW versus NWO Revenge. Used to
Yeah.
play that shit all the time.
played
I'd
that-
love
I
to
played
see
that
that on
too.
there.
There was a Scooby Doo game. I think it was like the Creep Capers or like the classic Creep Capers or something. That game was fun too. But then again, I was a huge Scooby Doo fan, so that's probably why I liked it so much.
I used to play the Cruising the World, Cruising USA racing games all the time when I was a kid.
I used to play Grand Theft Auto just to drive the cars. I never played the actual game.
For the longest time, that's the way I did it. I loved it. I'd love to like change the radio stations and like listen and drive the
I
cars.
was just obsessed with driving when I was younger.
Even
'Cause we
I
wanted
did
to
this
be
even
like-
as an adult. When I beat Grand Theft Auto 5, I like knew where everything was because I had driven around so many fucking times.
You knew the map.
That was the only Grand Theft Auto I've ever beaten.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
And it was probably the easiest out of all of them, just because it's, you know, the most recent. It was the most like streamlined available to people. What are some other games on the N64? You know what was super cool about the N64 is that like the game cases and cartridges were like different colors. Like Ocarina of Time had a cool gold case.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong 64 had a cool yellow case. The Scooby Doo game I was just talking about had a black case. Like
Yeah.
little things like that really like add to like, especially for kids. Like stuff like that really is cool.
What would you guys say? This I know I've already asked a question, but here's another one. Is the greatest video game like film adaptation that you've seen?
Specifically movie, or can we count TV shows?
I guess some TV shows fine. Thinking The Last of Us.
Doom with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Wow.
No, I'm joking. It
The
was-
That's
best.
a movie?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh, I've never seen.
It's not great. It's fun. It's like fun bad in my opinion. Wow, that's a tough one.
I think Sonic was pretty good.
I've never seen those movies.
The
I've only
Sonic
seen the
movies are
first
fun.
one.
I've also never played the Sonic games, so
I think I may actually slightly prefer the Sonic movies to the Super Mario Brothers movie. And that's not a knock against the Super Mario Brothers movie. I just thought the Sonic movies were, slightly more fun for me. I think The Last of Us is a very safe choice for
yeah.
video game adaptation.
Trust me, I wish that I could say Halo.
Ooh.
I really do.
I do have to say that I appreciated Halo more than Robert because I never played any of the games, so it didn't like.
She has
I didn't-
nothing to base
yeah.
her expectations off of. Like me, I know the Halo
zero
story and how they could have literally just taken stuff that's from the games and made an awesome story in a cinematic way, but instead they decided to just throw all that into dumpster and create their own fucking garbage fire. But you got to see Master Chief's ass in that, so
Yeah.
there's that.
We've been calling him Master Cheeks.
Master Cheeks.
I think Robert's been calling him that for a long.
I have actually my
Since Halo
my-
2, we noticed that ass.
my clan tag on Halo has been Master Cheeks for literally like 10 years. And when they finally had Master Chief's ass, I was like, Master Cheeks.
My day has come.
So-
I really did like The Witcher too, actually, though.
I haven't seen The Witcher. I've also
It
never played
gets,
the
a
game.
lot of
so I
people
don't-
like dog it, but I really
I've never
liked it.
played the video game, but I do enjoy the show.
I've played a little bit of The Witcher 3, didn't really like it. I played The Witcher 1, didn't really like it. But the show I thought was really good. I liked it.
So coming back to the Super Mario Bros. Movie,
Oh, we're still
Yeah.
talking about that?
what are your ratings?
0 out of 5. Trash movie.
That's really what he thought. That wasn't a joke. It's a 3 out of 5 for me. I think it's a fun I think it's a fun enough movie. It's like a thin plot kind of, very basic, which is fine because it's 4 kids. I'm not a kid. I think it's fine enough. I could watch it again. As a fan of the Mario games, I enjoyed seeing it on the big screen. But beyond that, I don't really care. I didn't like feel like some like super like emotional attachment to it or anything.
Wow.
But I thought it was definitely. I recommend it. I think it's a good movie, and that's all I got.
What are your thoughts, Rob?
I loved it. I mean, I gotta say, I'm flabbergasted that you gave it a 3. What did you give playing again?
A 3, same score.
So let's rewind. You sure you don't want to retroactively edit yourself?
No. Plane was cool enough. Mario was cool enough.
All right. To each their own, I suppose. I'm going to give this movie a 4 out of 5. Obviously, it's not a perfect film. It's intended for kids, and I think if we were looking at it through that lens, we might even give it higher scores. I thought it was fun. I thought it didn't overstay its welcome.
Just like
I do
not
love that
even at the
brisk
time.
95-minute runtime.
I loved all the references. I loved the way they did the characters. I loved how Peach wasn't just, a damsel in distress, and you showed a screenshot of somebody who made like an hour and a half long video talking about how Peach is like what was insufferable. Yeah, Peach is insufferable, and Mario's a punching bag. It's like, have you ever played a Mario game? Mario is a fucking punching bag. And I'm glad that they gave Peach, a role other than just being a damsel in distress. Yeah, I thought they did a good job with that, and I really liked her character. Luigi, on the other hand, they really did dirty.
Poor Luigi.
I kind of it almost like took me back to my childhood watching this movie, which I really appreciated. 4 out of 5, easily, Laura.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed the film. I don't know, maybe because it did remind me so much of like being a kid. We literally played these games all the time. So I myself gave it a 4 out of 5, and I thought I was gonna be the highest. I thought you were gonna give it like maybe a 2.53.
I was never lower than a 3. I almost gave it a 3.5, but I was like, I don't like this quite as much as I like some other things that I've graded 3.5, so I settled on a 3.
Yeah. I didn't think you would care for it.
See, y'all are gonna forget all about this next time we review a movie, and I like it more than y'all. You'll be like, you always like a movie more than me.
This is, I think, the only
This is
time.
the first
It's not
time
the
I
only
think.
time.
What other time can you remember?
I don't know, but I know it's not the only time.
This is the first time that you were just like, I really love this movie. You didn't say that.
This is not the first time that I didn't love the movie.
Maybe for one other time. When we
Several
watched it
times.
missing.
Anything that I gave less than a 4, I didn't say that I loved it. I might have loved things about it, but I didn't love the movie.
What's up next on our...
What's up next is I'm going to make you guys watch Air sometime this week. I don't know how or when, but we're going to fucking watch it. But maybe before that, because we're going to finish the first season tonight. Yellow Jackets.
Season 1
And
recap.
we've got the season 1 recap / review. Looking forward to that. We've been watching it so we can catch up on it. And, season 2 started. I think episode 3 comes on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can watch that many episodes before the new episode airs, but we'll be caught up, I think, before the end of the week. So we can start, reviewing
So we
those
can do a
live.
season 1 recap and then the first few episodes
Yeah.
of season 2 recap, and then we'll be regular weekly with that.
Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about Yellow Jackets with you guys.
Yeah, it's a great show so far.
We've got a lot of movies coming up. I think next week, Renfield is coming out, which I know you guys are so excited for.
I'm
The
actually...
Pope's Exorcist is coming out, which I know you guys are so
What's
excited
it?
for.
Mafia Mama. Are we gonna
Mafia
see that?
Mama.
I'm also really looking forward to Evil Dead Rise. I know
Evil
that
Dead
doesn't
Rise,
come out
yeah.
until the 21st. But
Yeah, I can't wait for
We got
Evil Dead
ways to go.
Rise.
Yeah.
Beau is Afraid is coming out soon. I don't know how I'm going to make you guys watch that movie, seeing as how it's 3 hours long and neither of you have interest in the first place.
No.
But come on, Hereditary and Midsummer, the guy's back doing his thing. Joaquin Phoenix.
Laura,
It's going to
come
be
on.
an experience.
We're moonlighting as podcasters. We gotta double down.
You double
We're
down.
already doubling down. We just saw Mario, now we have to see Air. We can't do every single movie that comes
You know
out.
what?
Yeah, we can.
We're putting a chip in the box over here because neither of us want to see Air. We're gonna put that on the table right now.
True.
I'm not in the least bit excited for Air. Kurt wants to see it really badly. Sherry also wants to see it. So there's gonna be a movie that comes. There's not gonna be a movie that comes out that Kurt doesn't want to see. So maybe this is pointless anyway.
Yeah, we're watching every movie.
Alright, so you'll see it hear it on the podcast. Tune in next week. We're gonna have some Yellow Jackets and some Air.
What was the other one?
Whatever fucking else.
Renfield?
Renfield, yeah.
Yellow Jackets, Air, Renfield. We got a lot.
We'll
of
have it
content.
all.
A lot coming in.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, be sure to follow us on social media. We are at Admit3Pod on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.